welcome to episode 217 of
Brutal Battle. Yeah, it's Rich again, and Rich, I'm very glad you're here.
Yeah, I'm okay, I'm here. It's whatever.
I was just going to start calling you apathetic Rich. Like, that's how you come off. You're just like, yeah, okay.
Yeah, it's cool.
Yeah, it's fine. That's good. But in all fairness, you have said you are really struggling with allergies at the moment, so I understand how that is. When I'm not on the medication I'm on, allergies destroy me. Mm-hmm. Just destroy me.
And we had 7% beer earlier. That doesn't help either.
Yeah, we're not continuing to sip on that beer right now because we want to be in control of our faculties. So, yeah. We have two other beers in front of us, though, for mystery beers, which look interesting. So, yeah, I'm very interested to see what those are going to be. But before we get to that, let's go ahead and start talking about our topic. So this is, and I'm not going to go like super into depth because this is from a website, but I'll tell you guys what website and what I guess it's an article, what the article is so you can go and look at it yourself. So this is from a website called First We Feast, and it literally is firstwefeast.com. And they wrote up an article on the most influential craft breweries in America, and it's kind of like a look at over time what breweries have been super influential and for what reason. So for each one, there's like literally like a sentence or like a few words about what's made them so influential. So I'm not going to go super into depth on them. So if there are any that people really want to know extra about, reference that website in that particular article and you can get that extra information. Because, you know, for time's sake, we don't want this podcast to go like crazy long and I don't want to read all those things, but
is this the one where they eat the spicy wings? Is that one?
No.
First We Feast?
No.
You know what I'm talking
about?
Well,
I don't know. What else do they do? Drink, video, recipes. They have all sorts of stuff on here. They do have a lot of stuff on there.
A lot of context on this website. That's good.
Yeah, lots of content. So, okay, so the first brewery that clocks in on this list is probably no surprise to people who know craft beer, Anchor Brewing. Mm-hmm. This brewery kicked off the craft beer movement in general. They started in 1896 in San Francisco, California. So if you don't really know about Anchor, you can look that up on your own time. Rich history, still around, which is very impressive. And craft beer community owes a lot to Anchor, honestly. The next one is one I've heard of. I've never had anything by. I didn't think a whole lot of because I haven't heard much, but New Albion Brewing Company, they opened in 1976, so on the old end, as far as craft beer goes, in Sonoma, California, and they were the first microbrewery ever. So that's their importance. Once again, if you want information, go ahead and check it out. Then Sierra Nevada, no surprise there. Everyone knows Sierra Nevada. And their influence, they say, is teaching the world to love hops. They took the Columbus hop, made it super, super popular. Wait, was it Columbus or Chinook?
That's the wrong person.
I want to say Columbus, but I could be wrong. Damn it. And they opened in 1979 in Chico, California. Maybe it says, Cascade. It was another. I knew it was a C, and I normally know this, but that 17.2% beer just invaded my brain. Cascade hops. They took Cascade hops and made people like hoppiness. If you remember, their pale ale was a big deal as far as hop content goes. Then there's Boston Beer Company, also known as Sam Adams. No big surprise there, out of Boston, Massachusetts. Opened in 1984, and they made craft beer mainstream. I think they're the first one that really started blowing up as far as distribution goes, and no surprise there. Then we have Goose Island. Started in 1988 in Chicago, Illinois. Their influence is bourbon barrel aging as well as selling out to the macro beer companies. So, yes, the bourbon barrel aging, awesome, because where would we be without their Bourbon County? They were the first to do that stuff. The selling out, not so good. So like I've said, it's like some good, some bad. Did I say that? I think I said it off podcast to you. Some good, some bad as far as influence goes. Then there is Blind Pig Brewing / Russian River Brewing. And opened in 1994/1997 in Temecula, California and Santa Rosa, California. And They invented the double IPA, which thank you for that. Love double IPAs.
Yeah.
And invented wine barrel aging beers. As people know, Russian River was huge as far as trading goes a bunch of years back because people were like, oh my God, they're doing amazing stuff with sour beers, aging in wine barrels. Amazing stuff.
So how do people pick the names of the companies? They just have a hat. They're like, all right, let's put random words in here and pick this out.
Some of them, it seems like it. A lot of them, actually, it has some significance somehow. Right. And I always like that. I usually don't like it when companies are just like, and we went with this name just because we think it sounds kind of good. I hate that. I like when it has like some sort of like actual meaning. Like there was a restaurant that opened near us, which actually went in the old Duclaw brewing space, called Humagalas. And it's like focused on pizza and burgers. And so at first I was like, oh, it could be interesting. And then I read an article about it and they were like, what's the origin of the name? And they were like, oh, we literally just made it up. We thought it sounded good. And then I was like, I'm not going there. Like it'll literally turn me off because I feel like that translates to interest in the company and how they run it. And I'm just like, sorry. All right, so then... Do
you actually give the hand up when you two say that? You're like,
yeah,
sorry.
I put up a stop with my hand. Yep. Or talk to the hand.
Talk to the hand. Oh, you did the Z
snaps, too. The snaps, yeah. So the next one's Sandlot Brewery, which I've never even heard of. Out of Denver, Colorado. They opened up in 1995, and they started making craft beer commercial, apparently. I don't really know that much about that, but... Oh, owned by Miller Coors now, so...
Aren't these all pretty much owned by big companies now?
No. A lot of them are still independent. The next one, no big surprise, Dogfish Head Brewery out of Milton, Delaware, started in 1995, and this literally says, influence, adding all sorts of crazy shit to beer.
That sounds about right.
Very true. That's what they're known for. That's what they were known for. That's what they're still known for. Always pushing the envelope with just putting more and more stuff you wouldn't think to use into beer. And they started that movement. Like, people are still doing that now. Thank goodness for Sam Calagione. Because he kicked that off, and it's made beer magical, in my opinion. I don't know about you, but...
Yeah, beer's always magical.
Do you drink Dogfish Head?
Yeah, I do enjoy Dogfish Head. I mean, them and Flying Dog I like a lot.
Oh, nice. Just dog beers?
Yeah, anything with dog in it, I have to drink it.
Mad Dog
2020, drink that stuff.
Yeah. So the next one is Three Floyds Brewing out of Munster, Indiana, which they started in 1996. And their influence is making people wait in line for rare beer. A bad one, in my opinion. They started that with their Dark Lord Day, with their Imperial Stout, with all sorts of crazy stuff thrown into it. And people started waiting in line for it because it was so rare. Yada, yada, and now we have a culture of people waiting in line for beer, which, honestly, if that's what you want to do and you have the time to do it, do what you want to do. That's fine. But for me, personally, I'm not going to do it. It's just not worth my time, and my opinion is there's a lot of really good beer out there just in stores. So I'll just go get that instead of waiting in line. So the next one then, kind of in that realm, is The Alchemist. Out of Stowe, Vermont, and they opened in 2003, and they were also involved in making people wait in line for beers, but their main influence on here is putting hazy IPAs in pounder cans. So they really kicked off the popularity of New England-style IPAs or hazy-style IPAs, and they put them in cans, and at that point when they put it out, they were ashamed of it. Like, literally said on the can, drink from the can, because they didn't want people dumping it into a glass and seeing how unfiltered and hazy it was.
Yeah. Because
at that point, it was still a no-no in the craft beer community. Like, you filter your beers is how it was. It's like, you're not a real brewer unless you're filtering your beers. But now it's very different. People are all about the unfiltered. People literally will go into places and be like, I will have your haziest beer.
Like, how hazy looking is it?
Like, I can try and pull up a picture. I take it you're not a hazy beer drinker at all.
I honestly never even heard of the term hazy beer. But I mean, I knew unfiltered. I just never heard of the term hazy.
Well,
Are you going to blow my mind with this one?
Yeah.
Wait, hold on. Is it from a company that's name's Dog somehow? Because if it's not, like I said, I'm not going to drink it.
Then you're not going to have interest unless
no
it's
interest in
something.
Unless it's Hazy Dog or something like that.
Looks like orange juice.
Oh, yeah. That looks like pulpy as hell.
Yeah. Well, yeah, it looks like pulpy orange juice, which actually there's a brewery called RAR Brewing, and they do really good stuff out of Cambridge, Maryland, and they have one called Pulp. Because
it should be called Pulp Fiction.
Yeah. Someone has one called Pulp Friction.
Oh.
It may also be them, actually. RAR. I don't know. Anyway. And then those were the main ones they put on there, but then there was like a honorable mention with like a few words about them. So Green Flash is on there for codifying the West Coast style IPA. They really made it a thing, so that's cool. The Brewery out of California for making their societies, their beer societies, which has become a model for some other breweries. I wish more breweries would do it. It's very cool.
I wish breweries just had the name called The Brewery.
Yeah.
That just tells you what they are.
Well, that always causes problems because I'll bring it up in conversation and people be like, what brewery? I'm like, The Brewery.
Brewery.
And then I have to spell it. And they're like, oh, okay. Now I get it. Firestone Walker for putting beer blending on the map, pretty much, which beer blending is amazing. And we've had a few episodes on this podcast about it. You can blend beer on your own at home. And there's some really good stuff out there.
You are blowing my mind.
Yeah. I'm going to introduce you to all sorts of things there, Rich. Apathetic Rich.
Yeah, I'm so excited.
Hair of the Dog for popularizing high ABV beers. Yeah. I don't know how I feel about that one just because Hill Farmstead on there for farmhouse perfection. So really hammering down the farmhouse style beer. I don't know if I would say Hill Farmstead for that one. There are breweries who were doing farmhouse ales before that.
Is that like a gamey taste to it? I mean, what is farmhouse?
Oh, farmhouse is just a particular style where it's really at this point the yeast that really, really makes it. But it was, people go back and reference the Oxbow Brewing Showcase episode that just came out a few weekends ago. But that breaks it down. Rebecca has a full-on definition, but it was like Belgian beer made by farmers, like easy drinking with whatever they had available to like have after a long day of working in the fields.
It's Amish beer, got it.
Amish-ish. Jolly Pumpkin for putting Brettanomyces beers on the map, which I agree with that. I remember the first time I had a Jolly Pumpkin beer and it gushed when I opened it. And I was like, what is going on? I've never experienced this before. It's got to be bad. What is happening? And then figured out, oh, that's actually like a thing. But the beer was outstanding. Jolly Pumpkin, yeah, they were definitely a pioneer.
We got a gusher.
Yeah. Lost Abbey for Americanizing Belgian sour beers. Yes, agree with that. Good job. Manhattan Brewing Company of New York for East Coast brew pubs. I don't really know. Doesn't go into depth on that either. I guess they started the idea of a brew pub on the East Coast. Sure. New Belgium for doing wood aging beers, making that popular. Yes, their La Folie sour. Awesome. Oscar Blues for canning craft beer. That's right. The big movement to cans. Very good. Pete's Brewing Company for dark beer. I guess popularizing dark beer. I don't know. It doesn't have a date or anything on it. It's just like an honorable mention thing. So Stone for taking craft beer international. I guess they really, they're in Germany now. They literally have a brewery in Germany now. So they've been distributing outside the United States for some time.
That's just cool.
And then Treehouse is on there for New England style IPAs. I don't know about that. I think in some people's minds, they've kind of taken the New England style IPA to the next level.
Yeah.
But I don't think that's, I don't know. I don't view that as all that important because the Alchemist like started the style.
Right.
So like when people make variations on the style, I mean like something like Russian River / Blind Pig creating double IPAs, in my opinion, that's a lot different because you're not just refining a style. What you're doing is creating a sub-style in a sense because it's higher ABV for IPAs. Right. And there's like a definite big difference. So anyway, that's it. How do you feel? How do you feel about that?
I feel like I just was delivered a plethora of knowledge.
hard to process.
I'm processing hazy beers. And so wait, if you had a brewing company, what would you call yourself then?
I've already thought about this.
All right, what do you got?
So first of all, I don't think I would, because I don't think I'd have the knowledge to like brew properly, because I don't do home brewing or anything.
You do the mixing, so it's mixed beer or something like that.
I could mix beers. I could do only blending. I could just start a company where I take existing beers from other breweries, bring them in, and mix them. No, that's actually illegal.
Yeah, that
you
sounds very
can't
illegal.
sell that. No, but I wouldn't do that. But if I had a brewery, I would call it Beers for Fears.
Okay.
And it would be horror related. And I'd just have a line of phobia beers would be one of the things I'd want to do, like agoraphobia ale, or what's another good one? Claustrophobia cream ale. You know, things like that. But also have like other ones where it's like werewolf wheat beer, or like severed head red, you know, things like that. And have like kind of like serious horror labels. Not to the point where it would give people nightmares, but to a point where people would be like, that's pretty serious horror stuff. So
if someone says that out loud, you're like, I succeeded.
Yeah, exactly. Be like, I'm kind of almost scared of that label. I'd be like, mission accomplished.
There you go.
That's exactly what I was
So
going.
do you just hang out at all the places that would sell your beer and like listen in? You're like, they said it. I can go home now.
Yeah, I would do that. I would be like, yes, now I can retire.
Yeah, exactly. I'm done.
Anyone want to buy this brewery now? What would you do if you had to start one?
If I had to start a company, I'm just going to go off what's around me. Let's see. Cat Tree Brewing.
Actually, it's not a bad idea. It sounds good.
There you go. I don't know what we would do, really. I mean, I guess we had pictures of cats playing on the front of it, because that way, you know, we get more of a niche for cat lovers. I'm pretty sure you would pick up a bottle if it was a cat playing on the front of it.
100%. I love cats.
Yeah.
Obviously, I have one because I talk about her from time to time. But yeah, there is a really serious community for cat lovers, and you could bring some people in on that.
Yeah, that beer could be crappy, but there's a cat on it, so...
There are 2 cat-related breweries that have opened recently.
Okay.
Well, there's one that's contract brewing. It's like a brand, but it's contract brewed by Dorchester Brewing Company. But it's called Fat Orange Cat Brewing.
I like it.
And then out in... Actually, I think it's in Frederick, Maryland. One called House Cat Brewing. So there are cat breweries out there. But Cat Tree Brewing sounds good.
Yeah, it's pictures of kittens, not just cats.
So each label is just a picture of a cute-ass cat.
Yep.
Well, not even cat, kitten.
Yes.
That's marketing.
Yeah. That's
marketing genius, really. It's like, how are you not going to buy this beer with a cute kitten face on it?
You don't like kittens? Huh?
Yeah, you literally could go to places and shame people into not buying your beer. Just be like, oh, you don't like cute things? Where are you, an evil individual?
See, eventually I'll start branching out to other baby animals, like baby dogs, you know.
It's all baby animals.
Yeah, all baby animals. Crappy beer, but great pictures of animals on it.
I like this. No, this is legitimately a good way to sell stuff.
I mean, I'm taking from the last podcast with label things.
Yeah.
It's like recognition, you know.
Yeah, breweries don't collaborate with other companies. Collaborate with baby animals.
I mean, yeah, absolutely.
There's going to be one with a picture of a baby sloth on it.
Oh my God, that's selling right now. I think we just sold 2.
Baby sloth stout.
Baby sloth stout.
There's moss in it. Because they move so slow, they grow moss on their backs. Yeah.
That's awesome.
You just have those tie-ins.
Yeah,
you know?
Absolutely.
What would you do for a kitten one to tie into the beer? Saliva? Because they lick themselves to clean? Yeah. You just spit in the kettle? In the brew kettle?
All right, Precious. Spit in the bottle for me.
No, I wouldn't do that. I honestly, though, in all seriousness, I think you're onto something with putting cute animals on labels.
See, it's funny the things you just talk about, all of a sudden ideas come about and like that.
Just like the last episode, people feel free to take these ideas, but give us the beers.
Yeah, that's our payment, is the beers.
And let us know. BrutalBattlePodcast@gmail.com. Let's do it.
Apathetic Rich, what?
Yeah, Apathetic Rich. Just better than Pickle Rick, in my opinion. Better than Pickle Rick.
And Applesauce Pete is another one, too.
Yeah, I dropped that because I didn't know how you felt about it, so I like Apathetic Rich more.
Apathetic Rich, all right. Fair enough.
All right, so let's do the mystery beers then.
All right, twist my arm.
Hop on into it.
Well, did any of these labels have cute animals on them, first off?
I don't know yet.
I don't know if I want to drink them then.
We'll find out.
All right.
You got to drink it, and then we'll find out.
All right.
And then you can change your opinion.
All right.
Based on what you see.
Oh, absolutely.
So the first one looks like... Actually, it looks a bit like the Allagash Triple from last episode.
Have you ever had that before, where it's back-to-back the same beer?
No, not the same beer, but same brewery. That's happened. Looks pretty orange. I don't really see any head retention on this. It's just kind of nothing going on top. That's okay. Smells kind of like...
It smells very similar to... like, very similar.
It smells Belgian-y. That's for sure. What the hell?
I smell honey. I smell
I smell honey. I smell a little bit of like an apple note. A little bit of banana. It's definitely a Belgian yeast influence.
Banana?
Little coriander, maybe? Little coriander.
Do you just like open up spice jars in your house and just like, oh, this is this, and you like blindfold yourself? You're like, oh, black pepper.
No, but sometimes if I am using a spice that I don't typically smell, I will just take the time to smell it. Just to be like, that's good to have in my brain for smelling things.
Do you pour it in a glass too and sniff it like you're doing right now?
No.
Okay.
Dude, this smells like a Belgian-style wheat beer. It actually smells... It smells less like the Allagash Triple and more like the Allagash White.
Could it be just Allagash Double?
No, because I think that's a little more syrupy in the nose and has a little more malt forwardness.
Oh, okay.
This one, it's very Belgian-y. So, I don't know. I don't think this one's also Allagash. Especially because the level of Belgian yeast influence is higher than what I typically get out of Allagash. Someone else. All right, I'm gonna try this. It's very light in the finish. Kind of like all the flavor fades away at the end. Kind of becomes a little watery.
Yeah, I could definitely see that one. Taste that one.
Has a little bit of an orange influence in it.
Kind of reminds me of like a wave crashing. Like the first wave hits you, then just like a slow.
Yeah. Like, it's like aggressive up front, and then it just comes down, and it's like super chilled out. Yeah. So I definitely taste that Belgian influence. There's a little banana, a little like coriander type flavor. Just tastes kind of wheat like, but there's an orange to it.
Mm-hmm.
It's like orange peel, maybe. But the finish is pretty dry. And like I said, it's pretty thin on the finish. It's kind of watery. A lot of the flavors just fall off your palate. I don't dislike it, but I don't particularly like it. It's kind of in that middle spot. I know Kyle Norman right now, based off what I said about this beer, has already guessed what my number is going to be. He knows.
He knows it?
Mm-hmm. He's good at guessing that stuff.
Is there a prize to get if you guess it right?
No.
No?
He can come on the show again.
That's your prize?
That's his prize. You can come on the show again.
Wait, do I have to guess what you're going to guess too?
Yeah, otherwise you're not coming back ever.
Oh, wow. That's pressure.
All right, let's go on to Beer B. This looks like a porter or a brown ale.
I think it's an ale. Like a brown ale.
So it is like a reddish brownish. I can kind of see through the bottom of it, but not easily. Not much of a head to it.
That definitely smells like a brown ale.
Really malty. It's like that one is a little. That's molassesy. Definitely molasses.
Tastes like molasses.
Smells like molasses. Just like a lot of like sweet malt notes.
That's a funny word, by the way. Molasses.
Molasses. There's a slight chocolatey note at the very end that is also combining with a slight coffee roast note.
I can see that.
It's not strong. These aren't strong smells, really. It's just, but I mean, overall it smells quite sweet. Which, you know, you'd assume looking at it that it's going to be relatively sweet. Smells okay. It doesn't smell. It doesn't smell like the type of beer that I'm going to be like, oh, I love this. But we'll see.
It's more full body than I thought when I tasted it.
There's more bitterness going on there than I expected. It definitely finishes with a coffee note. It's not super strong, but it's like medium level. It's there. Definitely malty sweetness. I do get a little bit of that molasses. Yeah. Even more coffee roast as you keep sipping it.
Yeah, just aftertaste of it, just letting it sit for a couple seconds, you can taste it.
I like it. I mean, I like that. It tastes a little more bitter and a little more astringent than I was expecting. Although I don't think it's a high alcohol volume.
Not
but,
at all, yeah.
Slight chocolatiness starting to come through too. Oh, I mean,
you're not seeing God though, right?
No, not even close, really. Oh, this is gonna be a tough one. I mean, I'm good with both of these. I'm not great with both of them.
You said you're great with both of these, but
no, I'm good with them.
Good with them, not great.
They're both fine.
So you seem to like A a lot more than B, though.
I don't know. I'm starting to feel like they're kind of
interchangeable in a way.
I mean, I'll just go ahead and say it. I'm going to give them both a 3.
I was going to say 3s. You didn't let me guess yet.
Oh, yeah. Are you going to put 3s on them, or what's your rating?
I actually like B a lot more.
Okay.
So I'm going to give B a 4 and A a 3.
Okay. That works. That makes it easy to give it a winner. So
I know,
B would be the winner, 3.5. Those are fine scores for beers. I mean, that's decent. They're decent beers. I'm down. All right, so let's unmask the loser. Overall 3. Not much of a loser. It's not far behind, but
Mad Dog 2020.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Got it. Avery Brewing Company's White Rascal Belgian-Style White Ale brewed with spices.
White Rascal.
And it is 5.6% alcohol, brewed with Rocky Mountain water. I hate it when they say that stuff. Malted barley, malted wheat, hops, coriander. I did pick out the coriander. Yeah. Curacao orange peel. I picked out that too. And Belgian yeast. Picked out that too. Okay. I mean, it definitely tastes like what it says it should taste like. Is this one from my... Oh, yeah. This is from my stash. This beer is like a year and a half old-ish. Holding up pretty well for being a lighter style beer that's been aged that long.
What's on the can?
Oh, it's like a white devil.
Oh,
it's cool label art
with red hair and a beer in his hand.
Yeah, I like the art for Avery. They do a good job. That's a decent beer. It's solid.
It's no Ralph Steadman artwork, but hey, you know. No, it's actually really cool.
Okay, now the winner to be revealed, overall 3.5, beer B is probably also from my stash, Edmund Fitzgerald Porter by Great Lakes Brewing Company. And this is, where's the ABV on this? Oh, up there, 6%. And it is, this one is 2 years old. So yes, also from my stash. Robust and complex, our porter is a bittersweet tribute to the legendary freighter's fallen crew, taken too soon when the gales of November came early. Okay. I don't need that on the can or on the bottle.
That's depressing. But, come on.
Yeah, Jesus. Trying to make me think about that while I'm trying to drink.
See, it needs to be cute kittens. Exactly.
So actually, for a long time, I don't know if it's still the case, Edmund Fitzgerald was considered to be like the penultimate porter. Like, people were all about it, like, what's the best porter out there? And people would be like, oh, Great Lakes, Edmund Fitzgerald, obviously.
Right.
So, it's good. It's good.
It's the winner, so.
Mm-hmm. I don't think that, with porters in particular, time, I don't think is super kind to them. It's not, it hasn't done terrible things to this beer, because I know what it tastes like more fresh. and fresher. You get kind of like some tobacco notes, some leather notes, which are nice with the beer. I do definitely think that this is better fresh. The White Rascal, I kind of feel like it's better aged, which is a weird thing to say because you wouldn't think that for like a Belgian-style white beer. But I think what it did is the spices came down, that coriander perception and the Belgian yeast perception came down, and that orange peel increased in strength. And I like that in this beer. Thinking of how it did taste versus how it tastes now. So, yeah, just interesting. This is interesting to see the aging on these too.
Yeah, absolutely.
Since I remember what they taste like fresh, which is weird, but from years ago. So what about you? Do you drink aged beers at all?
No. Usually beers don't last in my refrigerator more than like a month.
Well, then you could be drinking IPAs like crazy and have no problem.
Yeah.
There are a lot of people who make the mistake of like, oh man, I'm going to drink this IPA 6 months later. Probably not going to taste good at all. Do it within 3 months of its packaging date. So, well, cool. Thanks for being on again, man.
Yeah, thanks
Apathetic
for having me.
Rich.
Thanks. Have a blast.
This is what you need to do. Like, you just go around now and just be like, yeah, Apathetic Rich.
Should get t-shirts made.
You should go into work. Are you going to work tomorrow?
Yeah.
You should go into work tomorrow, and as soon as you walk in, just be like, Apathetic Rich. You don't have to yell it, because that might be too much.
So I try to say it to myself, like, Apathetic Rich.
No, just go around the office and reintroduce yourself to everyone. And just be like, hello, nice to meet you, Apathetic Rich.
Oh, yeah.
And they go, oh, okay. It's your alter ego.
Yeah, obviously it is, yeah.
People start being like, which Rich are you today? Are you regular Rich or Apathetic Rich? You'd be like, no, I'm pissed off Rick.
Yeah, pissed
or
off.
Rich.
That's funny.
Yeah. That might be kind of fun to just start referring to yourself kind of in the third person. It's like the Bob Dole thing. Bob Dole used to do that all the time.
Yeah.
Bob Dole thinks this. Bob Dole thinks that.
A great Siren live skit with Norm Macdonald playing Bob Dole is hilarious.
Yeah, it's like, who stole Bob Dole's peanut butter? People, if you haven't seen that, look it up on YouTube. The SNL Bob Dole sketches. It was like the
Real World.
Real World, yeah, Takeoff. It was pretty funny. Good stuff. Sidetrack, though. We're going to shut this down right now. I don't think we're going to do another episode unless you really want to.
I think we're good.
Yeah, we're good. That 17%er in the first episode just made it the case. But we'll sip on this, and we're going to shut it down, and who knows what episode's coming out next. Yeah. But thank you, everyone, for listening. Thank you, Apathetic Rich, for being present.
It's always fun.
And somewhat caring.
Yeah, whatever.
Yeah. Until next time, thank you, and...
Yeah, exactly what he said.
Keep it brutal.
This has been a Nerd Circle podcast production.